how will Miami real estate surf the Fed's new policies during 2022? Is a market correction really ahead of us? Who will buy a home in Miami in the next economic cycle? Hi, I'm Beatrice Ponce from Coldwell Banker at ykbiscayne.com. And well, that's it. The Feds just started with their quantitative tightening, or better said, they are reducing liquidity in the financial sector. And they also stopped buying mortgage-backed securities. Millions of people bought homes across the US with very cheap interests on 30-year mortgage loans. And those homeowners went ahead and bought homes cash in cheaper cities. Now, just bear in mind that the original funds came from those very cheap loans. Well, is the market really going to slow down with higher interest rates? Yes, absolutely. 75% of Americans need a loan to buy a property. And especially if interests increase. With the expected inflation, mortgage interest rates are expected to go all the way to 6.5, 7%, or who knows. And when you add today's home value across the nation, as well as in Miami, lots of people will no longer meet the monthly payment requirements. And they simply won't qualify for a mortgage loan, which then translate into less people coming out of state with cash in their pockets. On the other side, as interests increase, big Wall Street firms won't need to leverage into real estate any longer. They'll have more attractive tools to put their money into. And, soon enough, the market will feel it. And these firms will put tons of properties back into the market. All indicators point towards a price correction. Now, we just don't know exactly when. The only thing that we can really feel is that it is happening at a much faster pace than it did during the 2006-2008 crisis. Now, when we get to Miami market, well, that's a very different story. I want you to listen to this small fragment from Glenn Kelman's Redfin CEO. He said last January about Miami's real estate market during 2022.
And in terms of where things remain incredibly hot, there's one state in particular that stands out.
Florida. Oh my gosh, Florida. Everybody's leaving New York for Florida. Both Tampa and Miami. So New York is the #1 origin city for people moving, and Miami is the #1 destination of the 10 hottest neighborhoods in America. 5 of them are in Florida. So we're seeing it on both coasts. It's been incredible, both the Gulf side and the Atlantic side. Florida just has low taxes. People are drawn to the warm weather, especially this time of year. The migration has been intense.
Now, be careful with the other Florida city. Those are different markets, and Miami is not on the same basket. You see, Miami is not just heaven for snowbirds and retirees and people tired of high taxes. Miami has plus or minus 75 big firms that recently moved their headquarters or entire departments to the city. In addition to the incredible investments into tech startups from, financial titans, Blackstone to Citadel. Last but not the least, we have the Latin American new leftists taking over in Chile, Peru, and possibly Colombia and Brazil. And this brings back capital into Miami real estate. It has always been the way to keep South American wealth in dollars to avoid their currencies and devaluation and, from other countries' economic turmoils. Miami market is more than just a domestic market. On the other hand, Miami's metro has a very little land for single-family homes. And when it comes to condos, the new developments that will be delivered during 2022-23 are sold out. There are better chances for 23-24, but you need to act quickly, and you need to put deposits right away because they are selling very, very fast. Or you will have to wait for the next round of new condos delivering towards 2026, and that's how it is. You see, therefore, Glenn Kelman is right. With less power of purchasing and with some of this expected inventory coming into the market, Miami real estate will be a lot healthier.
What you will instead see is just a slowing in home buying demand in the second half of the year if interest rates get above, say, 3.5% for a mortgage. And so my guess is that we'll see a repeat of 2018 when rates increased in the second half of 2018. There was a step back in home buying demand, but because inventory is so low, I don't think that there's going to be a significant step back in prices. We can't see the kind of price appreciation we saw over the past 2 years. That's unrealistic, and in fact, it's undesirable. But I think we can see stable prices, reasonable home buying demand. We're still way above 2019 levels. It's close to 6.5, 7 million units of sales at an annualized rate. That pace is probably going to come down at least 1 or 2 notches.
Now, if you are one of those waiting for the Miami market to crash, then I'll suggest you look up at Miami's inflation mortgage payment. You can see the market is in a much better place than it was in 2006. Back then, the ratio for inflation adjusted payment was plus 86.9% from the 2002 level. Today, the rate is plus 19.6% from the 2002 level, which indicates the Miami real estate market is not as bubbly as it was on the last market crash. You might have to wait a little longer for the next crash, which is not the best position on today's expected inflation. You see, maybe Miami is not the right market for you right now, or at least not during 2022. On the other hand, if you are holding on your property because you don't know where to go or what to buy if you sell, the more you wait, the harder it will be. Inflation and these new ways of trickle-down economical cycles are here to stay. It is a worldwide phenomenon. If you know that sooner or later you need to sell your home in the next 2-3 years, come forward, reach out, and let us help you take the best decision. The more you wait, the harder it might take. If you like the information I'm providing you, hit the button below and read the entire post on my blog. You can also hit the like button, and that way you will help me with the visibility and the algorithms. Do not forget, much of our successes get lost for the lack of a little more. Again, this is Beatriz Ponce from Coa Banker at whitekibiscayne.com, and thank you for listening.